block. Uh, we have been freed of the orange tyrant. He is the fuck gone. That nigga
Mm-hmm.
vacated Washington D.C. before daybreak. Like that nigga left before the business day started. Um, Mike Pence, the future author of the book "Don't Go Down with the Ship," was front and center at the inauguration. Like, hey man, like I get how this works. Like I'm cool. Like I'm here. I'm with the shits. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
but yes, in case you were under a rock or you just don't pay attention to things, because sometimes we just don't pay attention to things. And a lot of us are not really watching TV like that. Today was the inauguration of our 46th president, Rob, oh my God, Joseph
Joseph
Robinette
R.
Biden
Biden.
Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And our first Black, first female, first South Asian vice president, Madam Kamala Harris. Um, and let me tell you something. I watched the whole thing. I streamed it. I had like this raw stream that didn't really have a whole lot of commentary on it. Um, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I got feels. I got a few jokes off on social media. Mainly or primarily the fact that Pence was there. Like the Pences were there. Like, hey,
Listen, all the Republicans was there. You see, George W. was there hanging
what's
out.
his name was there? George Senior's VP. What's his name again?
Dick Cheney.
No, not Dick Cheney, not W's VP.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
What's his name? Why are we blanking on his name? Because remember, he used to be the dumbest man in politics. Then it was W, and then your boy the unmentionable came through and said, "Hold my beer." What was his name? Come on, there's too many devices around here for me not to be able to pull up.
I can't even remember which vice president we talking about. We talking about George Senior or George Junior?
George Senior.
George Senior's vice president. I don't even remember that. I don't even remember that far back, to be honest.
VP. Dan Quayle.
Dan Quayle.
Remember Dan Quayle had went and visited that school and they asked him to spell something like in a third grade class.
I do remember that. You know what?
So,
it's
hey kids. Yeah. Before George W. said, fool me, the fool can't get fooled again. The dumbest man in the White House was a man named Dan Quayle who went to visit an elementary school and was asked to spell a basic elementary school word and just couldn't. And then we ended up.
I remember his wife more than him.
I don't know his wife at all. So let me run y'all through my inauguration experience. One, I thoroughly enjoyed the sight once again of a first lady holding her husband's hand and not looking grossed out, not looking like she's trying to signal for help.
How about that?
Shouts to Dr. Jill Biden.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I think I completely ignored the fact that we never saw Melania Trump with other women. We never saw her with anybody. Like she didn't have no crew. Like we cannot name a single other woman that had anything to do with the White House during the last 4 years, other than the crazies that were running the press room. But Dr. Joe Biden and Madam Vice President Kamala Harris came through stomping with a squad. Spearheaded by, of course, she gonna let y'all shine, but we know who really run things. The Beyonce to your Michelle and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Jill, you're Michelle. Our forever first lady, Michelle Obama, came through just dripping, just gorgeous. My sister pointed out to me after the inauguration, I didn't realize if you pay attention, all of the women who were part of, who were part of that immediate crew were all wearing purple. And the reason is red and blue make purple. So the whole theme, and I appreciated this. I'm gonna tell y'all something. As a kid who comes from a political family, I appreciate politicians at least lying to me, at least acting like they give a fuck about me fucking with them. Right. It may not be real. I hope it's real, but I appreciate the effort of you coming in here and being like, no, nigga, I fuck with you. Like, this is for you.
You know what? People talked about, I think we got so far out the box that when we talked about like, yo, we just trying to get back to normal, people didn't know what that was like.
Right.
Well, welcome back to normal.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back to just regular ass normal.
The whole theme of the inauguration was unity. They had Lady Gaga come through and do the national anthem. And here's a very, very strange thing about anthems, national anthems, and just a return to normalcy in living for 4 years in an emotional siege, because you guys, whether you realize it or not, you have been in PTSD mode for 4 years. I don't care which side of it you're on. If you're on that crazy man's side and you feel like everybody else was against you and it was an attack on white people, you've been under constant pressure and stress. If you're everybody else, you've been under constant pressure and stress for the last, literally it's been officially 366 days since the first confirmed case of COVID-19 was confirmed in Washington, in Seattle in 2020. Like, we've all been under a state of emotional stress. And I promise you, before Lady Gaga got to By the Dawn's Early Light, I started to tear up. And I was like, wait a minute, this ain't even my anthem. And like, we know it's a whole racist ass verse at the end.
Mm-hmm. Fuck you, Francis Scott Key.
That happened. Then I don't know who asked for it, but there was Jennifer Lopez singing. Like, there was no other Latinas with chops that could have came through.
There's a reason why they keep calling J-Lo.
Because her manager's better than everybody else's?
Nah, because she's J-Lo.
Because her manager's better than everybody else. Huh?
She's J-Lo.
Yeah.
She's just J-Lo.
We could have did a smooth Ariana Grande moment. No, or what's her name? Selena Gomez just dropped the song in Spanish. Not big enough. Okay, I got it. Then they brought Garth Brooks to sing an a cappella Appalachian spiritual called Amazing Grace. It was the driest Amazing Grace I've ever heard, but I understood the optics. Shouts to Garth Brooks' hairline.
Took that hat right off. He was confident.
Listen, because he knew what he paid for. That weave was together. Okay, that hairline was laid. Wow. And then what else we got? Listen, let me tell you when I lost it. My Twitter page right now says Amanda Gorman fan account. Because our little sis, the inaugural poet, officially the youngest person to ever read a poem at the inauguration, came through, and like within the first couple stanzas of her poem was the line, a skinny Black girl, descendant of slaves, the daughter of a single mother who could dare to dream to be president, finding herself reading a poem for a president. Let me tell you, I was sitting here like, oh my God, America, maybe there's hope still. Hope is back, y'all.
Hope is definitely back on the table.
Hope is back on the table.
It's something what we do with it, but nah, she, it was impressive. It was absolutely impressive. And that fucking yellow coat, bro.
And she just tweeted at 6:09 p.m. I am on the floor. My books are number 1 and number 2 on Amazon after one day. Thank you so much to everyone for supporting me and my words. As Yeats put it, for words alone are certain good. Sing them. Sing them. So, if y'all were wondering, her name is Amanda Gorman. She's at the Amanda Gorman on Twitter. She graduated from Harvard last year. You wondering, her name is Amanda.
Yes, she did.
Class of 20. Oh, y'all, it's just really exciting to just like see an atmosphere of like a lightness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if any of y'all watched the last inauguration. I sure as hell didn't. But it's just a different feeling. So, all right, let's talk about some of the music.
Hold on, wait. So, also, I couldn't let this slide because the whites is acting up. So Clyburn. Let's talk about Clyburn real quick. Clyburn. So Jim Clyburn, the kingmaker. Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, George W. pulls over Clyburn and tells him, look, you did this. You're the guy. You put him in this position. So for anybody who hasn't been around, George Clyburn is the representative, the OG representative in the House of Representatives from South Carolina. The guy who said,
okay.
We going with Biden, we riding with Biden, and change the tide of the entire Democratic primary. So yeah, he got his flowers. But my man wore his cap today. He wore a red and blue cap to represent South Carolina State, HBCU. And the whites were confused because they're like, why has he got a ball cap on? Why has he got a ball cap on? Because HBCUs, bitch. That's why. And then beyond that, they also didn't get the bands, they're like, oh, who's this little band? It's just a reaction to how black as fuck this shit kind of was. You know what I'm saying? Like when we add our sauce to things, it just comes out different. And it's always funny. You get the commentary because they catch up, right? And we're not even talking about like the haters. We're talking about people who just looking like, oh, why you got a red hat on, bro? Like, they just throw a little shade, but it's cool.
And my thing is, like, let's just stop acting like we've been on decorum and proper behavior and etiquette for the last 4 years. Shut the fuck up. Like, he's wearing a ball cap. And your new president didn't make up words like hugely and bigly and say them 10 times. Like the president's address didn't sound like fucking Vince McMahon trying to set up the next WrestleMania. Like,
did you see his failure of a send-off?
No, absolutely not. Had no desire.
Oh, I watched it. That was the first thing I had to do. I made sure I was up at 8:00 to watch his bitch ass.
Make sure he was gone for real.
I stayed up. I watched him leave. I watched his little plane circle. And he told him, he said, let me see what the inauguration looked like. So he was circling around a little area where the inauguration was about to happen. And he got to the Air Force Base. He had like 10 people and 10 of his family members. He gave this long ass speech. Like, bro, listen. You're lucky you left early. You get to take Air Force One with you, but make sure you get that shit back.
I just really wish that we weren't in a pandemic so that somebody could have ran up to wherever that speech was happening and been like, wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. Let me tell you something. If y'all don't have nothing else to say thank you for tonight when you go to bed, thank the universe, whatever superpower that you pray to, or not superpower, but superpower, because I can't think of it. Tired in English, it's not my first language. That this man don't have Twitter, and we don't have to sit here and listen to his ass tweet all night about how much of a failure this inauguration was. Like, it's done. And then let's get on to these pardons. So your man signed 174 pardons last night before he fucking left. Yeah. 174. Like, you have got to be the most ridiculous clown of all clowns, but we already knew that.
How much money did he make off the 174 pardons?
That's a very good question. Jared Kushner, I'm sure, has the numbers.
Also, let's talk about the pardons.
So he didn't pardon himself because pardoning himself would have been an admission of guilt. So he is now a private citizen who did not pardon himself, and I just really want to know where the warrants at.
Where the warrants at?
Where them warrants at?
Oh, they coming.
They coming. If nothing else, an impeachment is coming. Of course, he pardoned Kodak Black. And before any of you rejoice over the pardoning of Kodak Black, I just want y'all to go back and like do a little research and remind yourself who the fuck Kodak Black is. Like, he is a whole ass rapist. He is a whole ass abuser. Like, he's not a good person. Right. So, y'all could cheer that if you want to. But like, yeah. He pardoned Lil Wayne, which really does nothing for us as a whole, as a people. Like, Lil Wayne is a dumbass who had the charges that he had and still decided to ride around with a fucking gun. I don't feel bad for you. And he pardoned Kwame Kilpatrick, which I don't know all the details of what Kwame Kilpatrick did other than to disappoint us. As excited as we were about him becoming the mayor of Detroit.
He just, he stole a lot of money.
He stole a lot of money, which is, kind of a thing that politicians do a little bit. Whatever he did, I'm sure that he didn't deserve 28 years. So did he deserve 28 years?
No, because I know people that have done worse. He ain't kill nobody. He ain't kill nobody. He ain't kill nobody. He ain't deserved 28 years. He pardoned people that was already out of jail. He was wiping records. He was doing clemencies. He pardoned everybody who was involved in a scandal. He pardoned a bunch of criminals, basically. Not people who were, aggrieved or who, didn't get justice.
Wrongly accused.
Right. No. He let all his homies out.
Yeah.
Yeah, or he wiped their records. Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Just making sure that's what he did.
So anyway, y'all, it's over. It's over. It's over. I'm not gonna hold you. I held my breath until the moment President Biden and Dr. Biden were back inside of the corridor at the Capitol. I held my breath the whole time. Every time that man stood up, I held my breath. Because I was waiting for some fuck shit. But, I think what happened a couple weeks ago at the Capitol was really the last straw. That's why you see Mike Pence kind of breaking ranks with your man's you legit sent your homies up in here to rob the job knowing I was at work.
So you know what it is, and the reason why we're gonna be okay. We had a hype man as a president. And he hyped up all these people to do these crazy things. And you ever been in a space where somebody's hyping you up? It's like peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? They're inciting the riot, and it's just mad energy.
No, it's that skit before Love and Blind on Love is Blind. Because at the end, he sure turned into, damn, my nigga, you ain't got to hit her like that.
Right. I didn't know you was going to do all that. Oh, shit.
Me. You him.
Yo. They got way out of control. It wasn't even supposed to go that far, my nigga. We didn't even think y'all was gonna do all that. Yes, they did all that, and that's what happens when you incite a riot. It's an emotional response amongst a whole group of people, and that's been a Trump's presidency. It's been 4 years of one person inciting riot after riot after riot, every hate crime, hate group. They all felt energized. Well, you know what, It's over.
What makes it worse is it's somebody that was hyping niggas up to do shit that he would not do.
Facts.
You listening to the man that's hyping you up, and then he gonna be like, "Bird, my nigga, let's go rob this bank." Not me, dogs. I got.
We all seen that in the hood. I bet you won't hit him. I bet you won't hit him. The person who ain't gonna hit nobody. I bet you won't rob their store. I bet you won't do.
You don't let him talk to you like that. You don't let him talk to you like that? I mean, I was just asking a question.
He said something about your mama.
All right. So the official Biden-Harris inauguration playlist, because we're back to doing fun things in the White House and respecting the arts and spotlighting artists. They released a playlist. It is on all of the streaming platforms. It was curated by D Nice and Radio.
Shout out to D Nice.
Which is the audio label, the Audio Everywhere label, founded by Issa Rae and Benoni Tego. And it consists of Coda the Fiend is on here at the very beginning, Bruce Springsteen, Kendrick, Mary J. Blige, the OJs, Bob Marley's Could You Be Loved, Mac Miller's on there, MF Doom is on there. I just need y'all to understand where we at. Also included on the playlist, which is intended to, quote, evoke joy and symbolize new beginnings. SZA, Marvin Gaye, Steely Dan, Earth, Wind & Fire, Stevie Wonder, Vampire Weekend, Jackie Wilson, The Brothers Johnson, Odyssey, Whitney Houston, New Radicals, Curtis Mayfield, Toro Moy, Jill Scott, and Dua Lipa. We got a Black White House again, y'all.
Wow.
I feel like that needed one of either Clue or Flex's bombs at the end of it.
And then on top of all that, Kamala got to go into the Senate chambers and call out herself as the person who is needs to be replaced. That got a pretty good chuckle. And then she swore in the first Latino senator in California history,
which is nuts.
I'm like, nuts.
Wait, like, think about California, y'all.
I'm like, what?
Nuts.
The Hispanic, the Latin X population of California since forever. It's Los Angeles. The damn name is Spanish, y'all.
Half of the city, San Francisco, San Diego, like
they've never had a Spanish representative of the United States Senate.
No,
that's almost as ridiculous as the fact that Georgia has never had a black man.
So late. Or a Jewish
man. And hold up. And that was the part that really got me. We've never had a Jewish senator.
Listen, y'all keep letting hot Atlanta fool y'all into thinking that this state is not what it is. Well, I mean, it ain't what it is no more.
Yeah, it ain't that much anymore, because we got our cousins in Columbus and Macon and Savannah and Augusta. This things is getting a little different.
So look, I'm gonna say this again, y'all. We don't go to sleep now. Like, this is cool, but what's her name? Ayanna. What is the name of the senator? Presley. Ayanna Presley was on Twitter spitting hot fire today. She said, you want to thank Black women, like, forgive student loans. Like, your words are not enough. Like, we still working. There's still work to be done. So I want to implore you all again. It's great that you got out and voted. It's great that we did what we need to do to change the tide of where this country was going, which was a very place for people who look like me. And I got a story on that. And to say for people who live like me and look like me, put a pin in that. But that's not enough. Now you got to stay on top of your senators, your congressmen, your city, state representatives.
Absolutely.
And make sure them niggas do everything they promised you while they was bombarding your text messages and inboxes with freaking go vote, go register messages. All right.
So, national mask mandate.
Yes. Introduce that properly. So now your man's Biden went into the office, like he got sworn in at noon. He went to the White House, took his little tour, took a little nap. They old, so I'm not gonna imagine that him and Dr. Biden did anything to Chris in the White House or whatever. Yeah, you needed that visual.
Hey,
and at 5 p.m. it was time to clock in.
Yeah, they went straight to work. Pen game popping. So he starts signing shit.
17 presidential executive orders signed today on day one,
including a national mask mandate. He stopped the Keystone Pipeline,
which Canada's not happy about.
Yeah, Alberta, y'all fucking be all right. Among others. He signed 17.
He put us back into the Paris Accords, so we can make sure that
back in the Paris Accords, also back in the WHO.
And then the one that particularly to us, let's see, rejoining the Paris Accord, canceling the Keystone, rescinding Trump administration 1776 commission, and directing agencies to review their actions to ensure racial equity. He lifted the restriction on U.S. entry for passport holders from 7 Muslim majority countries. I don't know what this is. I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, also the wall.
We're not doing that. The wall is no longer being built.
We're not doing that no more.
Yeah, it's just okay, guys,
enough. Wall.
So for the rest of the month, every day we'll have a particular theme, and the president intends on signing executive orders towards that theme each day. So Thursday we'll be focused on the pandemic. Friday we'll highlight Biden's push for economic relief. So y'all, that new stimmy coming in February, niggas, and then boom, right after that you're gonna get all your W-2s. This is gonna be taxi. This lit.
Yeah, we about to be balling. They better stock up on them PS5s.
Y'all better be responsible with your money.
And them new Xboxes. Y'all better have them ready because we about to get these stimmies popping. We got the last stimmy, we got another stimmy coming, and we got a stimmy after that.
Right, because it's going to be another one. But here's the thing, guys. With these stimmies will also come restrictions. So all the rest of y'all that decide that y'all got to come party in Atlanta, go on ahead and get that shit out your system, because I think Atlanta going to be locked down after February.
I'm just going to make my trip.
Make it through the month.
Just going to make my trip to Minneapolis.
I thought about possibly like dipping out next weekend, because you know my birthday is next Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll be recording and having a birthday party next Wednesday.
Party time. Mm-hmm.
But I thought about going somewhere, and I was just like, let me just be a grown up and like fix my car and pay off debt.
We don't no.
Birthdays. I'm gonna have more birthdays.
We're gonna start you a Clubhouse birthday Cash App room.
Is that what we're doing? I'm so for that.
Let's send you somewhere.
Let's do that.
We're gonna send you on a proper vacation.
I'm with it, because here's the thing. I feel like the new order of things is that it's okay if other people are asking on your behalf.
It is.
I just can't be the one asking for myself. Just like today is my nephew's birthday. My nephew turned 15 today.
Happy birthday, nephew.
Happy birthday, Super Neff. My favorite birthday gift that I've ever gotten, because he was due on my birthday, but his birthday's a week before mine. Yeah, and he asked his mom for books about investment. Because he's very aware of money and he wants his money to make him money. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, I put the call out there and I told my friends, and I'm gonna tell y'all, you know, Super Neff wanted to start investing money. Let's help him start with his investment fund. And somebody sent me $50 for my nephew, which I really, really appreciate. You know, my Cash App is Boogie Likes Cash, $ Boogie Likes Cash. If y'all want to support Super Neff in his quest towards financial literacy and independence, y'all could either, you know, hit me up on social media and recommend some books that you think are good for a 15-year-old young man who understands numbers well to read, or, you know, go ahead and hit the Cash App and just put for Super Neff in the notes, so I know that's money for him and not money for me.
Absolutely. And also, just got to bring it up real quick. In Rwanda, they had a recent election, and Robert Kyagulanyi, aka Bobby Wine, probably won that election, but the current dictator of the country obviously tried to gag him. So he's right now he is, Uganda. And we're gonna post this in the channel too. Thank you, Lo. Uganda. That's Bobby Wine. It's an international crisis right now because he is stuck in his home with his wife and his niece, and they would not let them get out to get so much as food. So, you know, we're doing what we can to bring international recognition to this situation. It's also been on CNN, also been on some other major networks. We were just trying to get over 100 signatures now. But look on Twitter, hashtag Free Bobby Wine. That's BOBIWINE. Him and his wife, Barbie, and then 18-month-old niece have been under illegal home detention without any criminal charges. And it's a fucking travesty. And, you know, we have to make sure that we are aware. And, you know, once again, Clubhouse to the rescue. Some good folks came in, educated us on the situation. We had some discourse. And, you know, now we're here trying to do what we can. But, you know, we got shit going on, but there's things going on all around the world with the diaspora, you know. So we got to make sure that we keep ourselves educated and up on the know. So once again, hashtag Free Bobby Wine. That's FREEBOBIWINE. I'm pretty sure you can find it. The petition's on change.org. Please sign it. Cost you nothing. Share it. Once again, Uganda. It's you know, and actually our representative, the U.S. representative, tried to see him, and they would not allow her to see him. So, you know, it's some shit.
And like usually people don't get in the way of American diplomats. So if they not American diplomat get in there,
because they know my man won the election. You know what I'm saying? So Natalie Brown, she tried to visit him, she got blocked. The United Nations Council on Human Rights is aware. Also, Bobby Wine's a musician, so you can find his music on all streaming platforms. BOBIWINE. They probably blocking his income sources and all that. So stream a couple songs. I heard he got a joint with Buju Banton. It's pretty dope. So
and also, not next week, but I think the following week, the Biden administration's initiatives are going to be focused on returning the United States to its position in the world. So hopefully maybe that means that we will be able to once again be in a position to kind of push some folks to go talk to some folks. Even though I know a lot of people are kind of against the idea of that because like when our capital was under siege, we don't have anybody to call, but like that's kind of it's kind of what happens when you're
that's the position that we put ourselves in. So because this is a country made up of folks from all over the world.
Right.
So that's just kind of how it goes. But
all right, guys. Shit, man. Whew. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's just been it's a great day. We're out of the bullshit. So while we're talking about like just craziness is going on in the world, I want to bring up one other thing, and then we're gonna move on to some Netflix and music and shit. I follow, he's my cousin in my head, but he calls himself Cousin Jude. He's a Haitian chef that's based here in Atlanta. And he posted yesterday the story about how, his mother lives in a town called Fond-et-Negre. And Fond-et-Negre is literally named that because at one point it was where runaway slaves went and holed up. The funny thing is that there's also a town so Fond means like in the cut or like, deep. There's also a town called Fond-et-Blanc, which is where all the white people that were allowed to stay in Haiti after the revolution, that's where they fled to. But anyway, his mother lives in Fond-et-Negre. And he and his mother were having a conversation about how like apparently it's a thing that happens all the time. And I'm sure it happens to like Latinos also, where like they get deported to Mexico, even if that's not where they're from. It's just kind of like, here's where we're going to dump you.
Right. Like what?
This man has been sent, or actually Jude was telling his mother about somebody that he knows who's from St. Martin, who's never been to Haiti or was born in St. Martin, never been to Haiti, being deported to Haiti. If I understand that story correctly, that's somebody who is at least of Haitian descent. There is a man currently in Fond-et-Negre in his mother's hometown who is apparently Jamaican, who was deported to Haiti, don't speak a lick of French or Creole, is in a small enough town that there's only maybe a handful of people that can stammer out enough English to communicate with him. And he seems to be mentally ill. And there's no way to figure out like how to get him back to his people. So Jude posted a picture of him. I reposted a picture. If you are Jamaican, if you are of Jamaican descent, if you know a lot of Jamaican people, if you know a lot of people in Jamaica, whether they're Jamaican or not, like share that picture, man, because that man is like, and when they deport you, they don't deport you with resources.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so they sent you back to a country that you don't know nothing of, and in a small town at that, not even in the capital. Like, even if you did know how to reach your people, like you probably don't have a phone to reach. Like, it's just nuts.
Crazy.
But that's crazy.
Please share it. Is that on your Facebook?
It's on my Instagram. The story is on my Facebook. The picture is on my Instagram. I'm gonna share it to Facebook as well. So that's, I think that like for a lot of people, when we think about immigration and deportation, we only think about Latinos for the most part. But it's a lot of people that look like us, and it's a lot of people that, like there are people just like a lot of
people of all descent.
Listen, I never finished that last season of Orange is the New Black because it was just too close to home for me. But that idea of like you coming to the States really, really young and, your parents either never telling you that you weren't born here, that your paperwork wasn't done or whatever. Right. And then you finding out at 40, 50 that you're not allowed to be in this country and then being sent somewhere that you don't speak the language. That's just wild, but it happens to a lot of people. So crazy. I shared, like I said, it's on my Twitter at Saint Boogie. I'll share it on Facebook for those of you who are my Facebook friends as well. All right, let's go on to, like, trivial life shit, because we need trivial life shit to deal with all the other nuts. 400,000 people, 24 million people sick. We've been dealing with shit for a year.
All right, so where we starting?
We are starting with, what is wrong with y'all? How do you not appreciate the greatness and the genius that was those first 2 episodes of WandaVision? What is wrong with
y'all? Yeah. So, all right.
Okay, so to break it down, to set the scene, the very first of the Marvel Cinematic Universe spinoffs hit Disney Plus last Friday. It's WandaVision. So named because it is the story of Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, and Vision living together. But the way that they set it up, the first 2 episodes, it is an absolute callback and hearkening to 60s sitcoms. So think Bewitched, think Leave It to Beaver, like that type of vibe. It's very clear to me that that's not where they're going to stay.
No, I mean, it's a journey. So yes, they're using 60s TV to start telling the story. So they start with Bewitched, then they move Genie in the second episode. Mm-hmm. But these are plot devices because there's a whole lot of other shit going on.
It's right there. It's not even hidden. It's like Wanda literally freezing and hearing somebody talking to her.
But you know what it is? I mean, I get it. It was like when it first started, people didn't really. They didn't. I don't know, because I saw the preview, so I kind of knew where it was going. But let's talk about what happened to Wanda and Vision prior to, where people's heads were probably at. Right. Endgame, Infinity War, big ass war, shit's super crazy, big ass fights, explosions, people disappearing, yada yada, and it's like, whoa, what happened after that?
Right.
And all of a sudden, you got Wanda and Vision in a 1960s car driving in black and white through Mayberry, and some people, I don't know, I will call them casuals. Some of them aren't casuals, are like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
So, okay, I'm a comic book head, right? I'm not even going front. Me and my pop was talking about this today. So I already kind of understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. But Wanda's going through some shit. And if you know Wanda's powers, and you know the evolution of her power, a lot of it comes from her emotion. Mm-hmm. So and we get all these little things as we go through these episodes, and we peep like, yo, something's not right.
Not right, yeah.
And by the end of the first episode, you know something's not right. And then there's Easter eggs everywhere, and a lot of them aren't hidden.
I think the name of the show is an Easter egg. It's called WandaVision. Like, right. Wanda is seeing this, and Wanda is making this whole shit up.
And you start seeing more and more of it unraveling. Mm-hmm. So we've seen the 2 episodes. Shit's gone left, shit's gone right. We don't do spoilers. But something's clearly not right. And I mean, even as a plot device, the cinematography is fire. Crazy. And I'll just say this. Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. used the same plot device in their final season. So
they got something else to go binge. What was I gonna say? My only beef was they should have either gave us just 1 episode or gave us 6. Like, just give me
right.
Don't give me these 2. Like, no, I needed 1. I need like at least 1 more.
But I think they were smart. I think they were smart because I think after a lot of people watched the first 20 minutes, they were still lost.
Right.
So I think that second episode, for the people who didn't get what was going on in the first one, it was kind of like by then you should have been like, oh, okay, cool, we got
Man,
it.
I saw so many people be like, this was boring. What are they doing? And I was like, what?
Well, I watched it. I watched it about 6 times, and each time I saw something that I didn't see before.
Oh,
so
I can watch again.
Yeah, it's better on the second and third watch because you notice a lot of the small details. It's a lot of small details in this episode, and then yeah. So
you know what else I'm excited about with streaming this week?
What?
Y'all Americans just found out that there's a bunch of dope ass French shows on Netflix.
And you know what?
Welcome. Bienvenue. Je vous attendais. J'essaie de vous dire. None of y'all want to listen to me.
So you were watching what was it, Lupin? You was watching Lupin?
I finished Lupin. Yeah, I finished. I of course, so like I remember somebody mentioning something about I don't think when I first turned on Lupin that I realized it was a French show. And I remember somebody saying something about how the voiceover was whack. And like the minute that they hit me with that Saturday morning kung fu action where the words and the mouths, I was like, wait, hold on. So I went to the video and saw that the original was in French. And like,
right.
That's how I practice French and Spanish because I don't really talk to a whole bunch of people in French and Spanish in my day to day. So right. I'll watch shows, whenever something drops and it's in French or in Spanish, I'll seek out shows in French and in Spanish and just watch them like that. And,
that's fine.
To help to keep myself fresh and then also to,
I think I'm good. I think I'm going to do that because I watched it. I watched it with the whack dub, and the dub wasn't that whack. It was actually not too bad. Okay. I've seen way worse. But that'll be fun to watch it in its original form with subtitles. I'm here for it.
And if you guys if you have children who are learning a language, or if y'all are learning or trying to relearn a language, that's definitely a really good way to do it because it allows your ear to hear it. Like what I always suggest to people is if it's a movie or a show that you already know and love, go ahead and watch that in the language, even if you put the subtitles on there, because you already kind of know what they're saying.
Right.
So,
yeah.
It makes it easier for you to put the two and two together. But like my dad was a super fan of that kind of stuff. There used to be a French character named Inspector Poirot. I think they turned into a few movies.
I used to love him, bro. I used to love reading. I read a lot of his stuff too. A lot of the books.
My dad was a huge James Bond fan. So watching this whole thing, centering this fine ass, beautiful African man. Hey, Omar Sy. Hey. And watching it in French, it's a good show. It's a good show for like if you're a fan of them, like Ocean's 11 meets a lot of people are describing it. Ocean 11 meets National Treasure.
Right. Okay.
Where it's super fantastic. Like I mean, the plot holes are you could drive a Mack truck through them shits.
But it's still fun.
You gonna let them rock, yeah. So then I saw somebody talking about there's another show called Call My Agent, which is basically like French Entourage, except the story is about the agency, but all of their clients are actual French celebrities or whatever. So it's really fun in that way. That's a good one. If you're into like romantic comedies, there's another one called Blind Date. And Blind Date is basically about this girl who is like trying to get over her ex and like she's having a really, really hard time. And so her friends hire an escort to seduce her, except the escort falls in love. And then she falls in love with him, and then all the drama that ensues. So like it's a bunch of dope.
Is it like it's like
Family Business? Family Business is about a family who owns a butcher shop. And they're in financial trouble, and somehow somebody comes up with the idea of selling weed. And so now the whole family, dad, grandmother, the kids, one of their girlfriends are all involved in like selling weed for the family. So it's a bunch of dope French shows. But Lupin is breaking records. Lupin is the first French show to crack the top 10 in the US. Lupin in the month of January is getting ready to surpass both what Queen's Gambit and Bridgerton did. So that's
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Bridgerton was my shit.
Bridgerton is my shit too. I can't wait. They said they renewed it for 5 seasons. What I love most about Bridgerton, like the shit that's extra funny to me, is we got Bridgerton after we heard that story about how Shonda Rhimes, one of the things that led her to leave ABC was how they wouldn't give her the tickets to Disneyland. So I don't know if a lot of y'all realize, but like ABC had a show called Starcrossed that was on the air about 2-3 years ago that was supposed to be what happened in Verona after Romeo and Juliet died. And the whole, like, everybody in Verona was all types of cultures. Like the Capulets were black, like Romeo, Mercutio was black. Like it was a bunch of like Asian, black, and Middle Eastern people in that show. So to think that that show failed on ABC and then Shonda Rhimes went over to Netflix and gave y'all black folks in a British court and y'all are with it, is like
and gave y'all an actual explanation for it.
That's why these people were there.
Like it wasn't just like, oh, we just gonna pretend these people here. Nope, it had context.
All right, let's talk about music or events or whatever. So this week,
whatever,
internet is upset because with everything that's going on, apparently the Super Bowl is still a thing that's still happening. And Versus has announced a partnership with the NFL for the Super Bowl. I think, is it for the Super Bowl? Why is Versus partnering with the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see if we have. Okay, so what does Versus have to do with the NFL? Over the weekend, Timberland announced. I'm not watching the video. NFL Pro Bowl Versus. They haven't given any details. It's happening from the 26th to the 29th of January at 8 p.m. They're joining forces to deliver some semblance of the annual festivities of the Pro Bowl, because obviously the Pro Bowl is not happening this year, but we don't know what it entails.
Okay, listen.
And people are mad because it's supposed to, Versus is supposed to be for the culture.
Listen, y'all. Listen. Let's have an NFL talk right now. First of all, none of this shit's for the culture. Okay. That's the NFL and the NBA. I mean, you could literally find some shit and have reason to say everything's not for the culture. BET's not for the culture. We could go
Tyler Perry's
down, we can go down the whole list. Right? She just threw her little jab in
I was joking.
I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Tyler, listen, to me, anybody that hires mad black people is for the culture.
Well, the NFL hires mad black people, and so does the NBA, and so does the. Here's the thing, right? Colin Kaepernick, they didn't get what the fuck he was on.
Right.
We get it, but life moves on, and a lot has happened, and we're not going to discount all these other niggas playing football who are doing great things in their community, taking this money and using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. It's weird because people get on their performative soapboxes. And it's niggas who ain't even watched the NFL in the first place. So to call the NFL an anti-black league when all these players are black, these quarterbacks are black.
Literally. I love talking about Sierra and how Sierra's whole life was changed by a whole ass football player.
The people who are, like it's a lot of money for everybody in the NFL, but it's capitalism.
Yes,
it's capitalism. So when you mix capitalism with niggas, it's gonna be some shit.
Mix capitalism with niggas.
We're always, and what I mean is, we're always gonna somehow.
I'm sorry. That's not that funny, but that shit was hilarious to me.
We're always gonna get the short end of the stick in some way, and we all understand, and we're going to keep talking about Colin Kaepernick, but on the back of that, you got people like Malcolm Jenkins and all these other players and people who are doing amazing things in their community.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
Let's just say that Colin Kaepernick had not been fired, or had not been, was able to continue playing football. Would Colin Kaepernick have done all the things that he's done in the time since he's left the league?
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe not, right?
Because no. What I would say, I mean, I don't think he would have had the platform that he has.
Exactly.
And that's key, right? things happen for a reason. And don't get me wrong, I feel for that man. But at the same time, he's a smart guy. And he understood and made the choice, and you know, got the settlement and spent the money on the things that he wanted to do, you know, and he's doing the work. Amazing things. So he's happy with that.
Here's
if you don't like the NFL, you know, but once again, you got the NBA, fucking Major League, like it can go down the list of people and institutions that are not really for the culture.
That we have to work for our benefit. Here's the thing,
but they have no idea how much money the NFL has dedicated, and it don't matter why.
Right,
it's real check. The real check was cut.
If you go into the majority of these stadiums, it's us working in the stadiums. When the Super Bowl happened here in Atlanta, it was us directing traffic, parking cars, working events, tending bar. It was like it's money being put in the community. Now, I'm going to say this, in 2021 may not be the year, 2022 may not be the year, but at some point, we got to learn how to stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We got to learn, and we got to learn how to work shit to our advantage. And like, and I don't want to oversimplify things. And, you know, somebody may hear this and crucify me for it, but like, I got a scholarship. I got a full ride scholarship to the University of Miami just because somebody thought I wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody thought that Black kids were not smart enough. And so they made the criteria for Black and Latino kids lower than what they made the criteria for white kids. Is that fair? No. Am I going to take their money? Absolutely, nigga. I'm an immigrant. Like, I'm not even a first generation Haitian American. I'm a fucking immigrant, bro. Like, you want to give me money because you think I'm stupid? Thank you very much. I was
right.
And I remember, you know, that's the only racial conversation I ever had with a white kid at my high school in Oviedo, Florida, which is a podunk town, one town away from a town where people tip cows for fun, or did in 1995. The one conversation that I had was with somebody who had the exact same score as me on the SAT, and he felt like it was not fair that he didn't qualify for the National Merit Scholarship, and I qualified for what was in 1995 still called the National Achievement Award for Outstanding Negro Students.
Wow.
Okay? The kid who was arguing with me was a third generation Naval Academy student. His granddaddy and his daddy went to the Naval Academy. But you want us to be weighed on the same? No, we're not going to be weighed on the same level. So at some point, like I said, I just want us to really be more strategic in our boycotts, in our demands of people, in our asking people to be accountable for the shit that they give us. Like, I don't give a fuck about y'all not calling something urban. Like, there has to be something better that you can do. Like, okay, we all blacked out our Twitters for one day in fucking June, and then what?
For nothing. All I got is everybody's got an opinion, and they're going to go online, they're going to share it, and we're going to fake and pretend it's a thing. So once again, if you want to keep going on about it, so somebody can write about it, y'all can get a couple clicks and they can make some ad money, by all means. It's not really a thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. It's not a real thing. So
I don't know why we're mad at Versus. I don't know what they're going to do. But I mean, I think it could be fun if, you know, because they've gotten to a point, I think, where like they're running out of like matchups that make sense or that could actually happen on Versus, right? That are big enough. So it could be fun to take this to a whole different audience and let like football players battle their playlists, and let that be the next thing. Maybe is that, you know, people battle their own playlists as opposed to artists coming in.
Show me the goofy nigga on Twitter who would turn down the NFL's money. I just want to know. But anyway, I like, because I don't like giving, you know, the internet gave everybody an opinion. Everybody can say what they want, and you know, that's cool, that's great. But you know, it's a non-starter for me at this point. If you don't want to watch football,
don't watch football. I ain't watched a football game in who knows how long. I haven't watched a basketball game since the last time that the Miami Heat were in the finals.
I'm watching football game. I'm watching a basketball game right now.
Did we ever talk about my non-compete clause that I imposed on myself with the Miami Heat?
Oh boy. No.
Did we? Okay. So I've been a Miami Heat fan since 97, whatever year Charlie Ward got flipped on his head. That's all I needed. Charlie Ward never did nothing to me but go to Florida State. Really, that's all.
Charlie.
He had an option between Miami and Florida State, and he chose Florida State. And I've been a Charlie Ward hater since then.
I mean, Charlie Ward gave you a reason to hate him. I mean, you know, he chose violence.
Like, it's a much better reason than the reason why I hate Tyrese. That's a story for another day. So anyway, I was always kind of rooting for the teams that were against the Knicks in the 90s. Like, it always just kind of ended up like that. And so, you know, Miami, when that brawl happened and Charlie Ward got flipped on his head, I was like, yep, this is my team. And then I moved there like a year or so later. So I've been a Miami Heat fan since the 90s, right? Okay. Once LeBron got to Miami, as a woman who said that you were a Miami fan, the number one answer that you got from men who are chauvinists and think that women know nothing was, you don't know nothing about Alonzo Mourning, though. Yes, I do. Like, shut up.
Congrats.
You know what I mean?
You played yourself.
Leave me alone. I actually watch basketball, and I'm actually a Heat fan. So it became a thing where, like, once LeBron left, I could not jump ship with him.
I feel you. Listen.
I had to stay. I had to take the L's. And I wrote out a shitty season with the Heat. Like, the Heat were trash, like, from like 2000 to like 2003. And I was still there. That was my team. Win, lose, or draw. But then when LeBron left, I was like, all right, at this point, like, everybody that I rooted for really has retired. I don't live in Miami anymore. I don't really have a reason to root for Miami anymore, for real. I'm not even really from Miami. So, like, even if we talk about point of origin, this nigga.
He said, you capping.
Me? Yeah, I'm capping. So I gave myself a 2-year, like, after LeBron left, I was like, I have to stay a Heat fan for 2 years. And then as soon as I was like, all right, well, my 2 years are over. Here go these niggas winning again. So I might be back to basketball.
There you go. Double A want to hear the Tyrese story.
What's the Tyrese story? Okay. So back in the day when Black Planet was the social media platform, was it Black Planet? It might have been AOL, actually. It was AOL because this is like 96, 97. Back when AOL chat rooms were the social media platform, I met somebody who worked for Red Zone Entertainment here in Atlanta. Red Zone Entertainment is Tricky Stewart's production company.
Yes.
And so, but like in 1997, I didn't know anything about Tricky Stewart. In 1997, I was a international studies and Latin American studies major at the University of Miami with plans on becoming a freaking diplomat and the first Black female Supreme Court mayor. And then you rappers ruined me. But anyway, so I just happened to meet this guy who worked for this label. And, at the time, like, there were no camera phones. Like, you didn't even, most of us really didn't even have a scanner on our computers. Like, we had to go to Kinko's and scan our photo to put on our profiles or to send to somebody. And so I guess the guy that I was talking to had my photo pulled up while he was talking to me one day, and Tyrese was in the studio. Now, let me give y'all context timeline wise. This is singing in the back of a Coca-Cola bus, Tyrese.
I remember that guy.
Okay. This is not even Sweet Lady. This is long before Baby Boy. This is Tyrese, the newly signed artist from the Coca-Cola commercial. Walks into the room, sees my picture. She's pretty. I want to talk to her. Gets on the phone. Very, very brief small talk. Then says, oh, wait, our live ended. Oh, wait, I got to wait till we go back on the live so Double A can get the other part of the story. Pardon the interruption. It's definitely dead. Hold on. Mikey. Dead.
He said act natural.
Act natural. Don't make any sudden moves.
Wow.
Good thing we can edit these things. Yeah, it's so funny to me that I've gone from being in like 3 DJ crews to now being in a car club. So funny. My life is so random.
My homegirl Love said, "What the fuck? I want the story. We'll be right back. Hold on. We
come on back in. Come on back in. I mean, it's back for whatever reason. It's not popping up on my thing. I saw the live pop up, but like it's not. Are y'all back in here? I gotta wait for people to come back in.
Yeah, we back.
But are the people back? Okay, Double A is here. All right, because this is Double A's story. Everybody else can catch this on the podcast. Is Low back too? Because she wanted to hear the story.
I'm gonna get it back.
Okay. Double A, play your own hold music while we bring the rest of the folks back.
We just trying to make sure everybody back so y'all can hear the story.
Tell y'all the rest of the story.
We don't want to leave nobody.
All right, Mikey's back. Shout out to Mikey, man. Okay, that's where it cut off. Thank you, because that was going to be my question.
I was about to say they're not even letting me.
So,
oh, there she goes. Okay,
there we go. Okay, so I'm on the phone with homeboy. I don't know why I can't remember his name, which is crazy because now I live in Atlanta. At the time, I didn't live in Atlanta. Tyrese walks in the studio. I get my pictures on the computer. Tyrese says, I want to talk to her. This is pre-Sweet Lady, long before any movies. This is Tyrese from the back of the Coca-Cola bus singing the song. I can't even, when I think of the song, all I think is of that Redman skit. This is I Got a Soda, that Tyrese. Anyway. So he jumps on the phone and he makes a little small talk. And then he goes, so what do you do? And I'm like, I'm in college. And he's like, yeah, but like, what do you do? Like you sing, you write, like, what do you do? And I was like, I'm in college. And he goes, here, man, I thought she was somebody. Bitch, what? Oh, milk dud head ass. Don't nobody know who you are, Coca-Cola boy. What the fuck you mean? And so I have held a grudge against Tyrese since that fateful day in like March 1997. I ain't seen Baby Boy. I saw what is the song called? Deep. What was it called? The movie with Megan Good where they were running away from the drug dealers or whatever. Not Into Deep, not Deep Cover.
I have no idea.
That movie, I seen that one time by accident.
Fast and the Furious.
When he popped up in Fast and the Furious, I was mad as fuck. When he popped up in G.I. Joe, I almost walked the fuck out. Like, it's beef.
That shit is real. Waist deep. Like, yeah, waist deep.
Waist deep, thank you. And so in recent years, as he started to unravel and kind of show himself, I've been sitting here like, well, I've been telling y'all since 97 that the nigga wouldn't shit.
So it's safe to say that you're not hanging out with Tyrese in clubhouse rooms.
No. Yeah, I'm serious about mine, man. I try really, really hard not to be a hypocrite about certain shit that I feel really, really strongly about. And I feel really, really strongly about that milk dud head ass.
Milk dud head ass.
Yo, y'all don't know I'm from the South and from Florida particularly until I gotta cuss somebody out about some shit that I feel in my soul. Anyway, so yeah, that's my Tyrese story, guys. All right, so I want to shout out my former clients, National Museum of African American Music. They were slated to open, I think, this year. I'm sure that the coronavirus has delayed that to a certain extent. However, Amazon has donated $1 million to the NMAAM.
So are we beefing with this too? Because it's Amazon, and I think we don't like Jeff Bezos.
Oh, I forgot that people
black people don't care.
So the museum actually, I guess, is opening on or it opened on Monday.
Oh shit! In
Nashville.
I might have to slide down there before Hayden moves.
It's really, really dope. It's so the way that it's set up, like it's set up like almost like an amphitheater.
You know, I'm upset. I'm on this article. It's talking about some only for Billboard pros. I'm a Billboard pro, fool. Let me sign in real quick.
Go ahead and sign in so you can read the rest for us. But the way the museum is set up is really cool because like they have rooms set up for different eras. And it's set up almost like an amphitheater, and there's a center room where they're planning on doing like performances and stuff like that. So, when I was working on that project through Tree Media, I was really, really excited about eventually being able to go there and all the programming they have planned. And this is like an all-inclusive museum of African-American music that starts from the slavery roots of gospel music and comes all the way to current day.
Word.
So, if you live in Nashville, there's a way for you to safely get to Nashville, and there's a way for you to safely visit the museum. I highly encourage it because this is the type of shit that we need, right? This is what legitimizes our place in history, and I love every time that Black people are able to claim these kinds of moments.
So, these are the facts.
Yeah. All right, move on to a little bit of. Oh wait, I'm sorry. There was one other thing that I did want to bring up about the NFL, which is that again, Super Bowl really is apparently happening. Super Bowl was that 55? Dang, that should have been a really big deal. But it wouldn't have been anyway because it's in Tampa. Shouts to Apollo. Shouts to Tampa.
What are you talking about? Florida's wide open.
Yeah, Florida's wide open, but I mean, Tampa's still Tampa.
I know, but niggas gonna be there partying.
Oh yeah, they are.
That's what niggas do.
Because just like they're here, like they were here in mass last weekend. There's all kinds of shit happening in Atlanta last weekend. And I think like for some reason I had blocked out of my head the fact that like out of town promoters were really throwing events in Atlanta.
Oh, I went to the escape room last week and I went to the gold room.
What was that gold room?
Random niggas in sections.
Now,
mind you, the gold room is at maybe 60% capacity.
Okay.
But of course, niggas are all huddled in sections. So, I mean, it's mad space. It's space every fucking where. But still, niggas choose violence. 50 niggas in one booth with 6 hookahs, women twerking, money on the floor for some reason. I'm like, why is there money on the floor in the gold room? It's not a strip club.
Did you figure it out?
Nah, it was once. You know the rules in Atlanta.
I mean, I thought those rules only applied to strip clubs.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't want to be that guy. But anyway, yeah, I stood outside the section because I'm like, yo, it's all this space in here. Why y'all up on each other? I got my little drink and I was chilling with my mask on.
I'm confused because, all right, so the NFL just announced their lineup for the Super Bowl kickoff show, which is happening at 6 p.m. on February 7th, which is the actual day of the Super Bowl.
Performing. Who's the performer?
Her is performing America the Beautiful, and Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church will sing the national anthem like together.
Yes.
Warren Wawa Snipe, who is a deaf rapper and performer, will be doing both the national anthem and America the Beautiful in American Sign Language. And the national anthem will be arranged and produced by Adam Blackstone. How you arrange and produce? Never mind, I'm chilling.
When inclusion goes wrong.
Oh, this Jay-Z Super Bowl. This is a whole.
Yeah, this is the whole bowl.
This the Rock Nation Bowl.
This is the Rock Nation Super Bowl. Okay, that makes sense.
There's gonna be a Rock Nation brunch at the Super Bowl.
Yes, of course.
Well, anyway, you guys, Super Bowl 55, it's happening. CBS, it's gonna be on CBS. They seem to be pretty excited about it. Halftime
go to Tampa. Mikey, road trip.
Halftime show. Who's performing at the halftime show? Oh, it's The Weeknd, right? Because that was the whole brouhaha with him and the Grammys. Because the Grammys were like, "Oh yeah, let's figure out a way for you to be here and perform here too," and then they didn't nominate him for anything.
Right? How about that?
The Weeknd is your halftime performer. I'm really trying to figure out like what does that look like? Because like other than Drake, who would The Weeknd bring out?
He's got quite a few collabs. I mean, I guess it just depends on, then they do mashups and all that stuff too. So you could very well see Beyonce or somebody.
Shouts to Blue Ivy. Blue Ivy was added as a performer on Brown Skin Girl, and so she's now one of the youngest Grammy nominees ever for Best Video for Brown Skin Girl. I
think it would be dope if we saw like a band situation with like Florence and the Machine, maybe French Montana, just some ratchet shit. I mean, he's got a bunch of ways he could go,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, listen, no matter what, I
should
will
be
never
fun.
have anything negative to say about The Weeknd because The Weeknd managed to convince America to give him a Kids' Choice Award for a song about cocaine. So you gotta respect that.
Oh man,
Has a Kids' Choice Award for a song called "I Can't Feel My Face."
it's a legend we stand.
Uh-huh. All right. Speaking of Canadians, Aubrey has pushed back Certified Lover Boy. It was supposed to come this month. He got on his stories on today actually and said I was planning to release my album this month, but between surgery and rehab, my energy is dedicated to recovery. I'm blessed to be back on my feet and feeling great and focused on the album, but CLB won't be dropping in January.
Yeah, I mean, let that man recuperate. It's cool.
What was wrong with him?
I think he had like some surgery. He hurt his leg or something
Knee
like that.
surgery. That's what it was. Knee surgery.
Oh.
No. It said the rapper has not shared any details on surgery. Back in October, he shared a photo of his leg in a brace, which prompted speculation that he suffered a knee injury.
Probably shooting that damn last video when he got tackled. When he got tackled by yeah.
Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. Baby. Yo, speaking of which, let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about how great yet forgettable Drake hits can be. Here's what I mean by that. When you hear them, they're always still great, right? Like it could be trophies, it could be whatever. Like if they played You're the best I ever had tomorrow, you'd be like, oh my God. But I legit pulled up a playlist. Like I have this massive playlist. Yo, who is my dog barking at? No, stop it. Stop.
Yeah, Drake is definitely that guy. That damn, I don't even remember. I can't even remember. I like that song that much.
So my quote unquote, y'all. This is Kiko. She's a real dog, okay? Because I know we've never heard her bark ever before.
Yeah, she like, who the hell is outside that window? Who's that creeping in my window?
Into the house next door, and that's
she don't like that.
She don't like that. She's never heard noise over there. It's okay. Leave it, mama. It's okay. Anyway,
Kiko has no chill because she ain't used to them new niggas over around here.
But the funny thing is, every time I mute the mic, she stops, and then I unmute the mic, and she starts again.
Let her live. She's good. It's like my kids. This episode is sponsored by the Dogs of America, the dogs of the world. They keep you safe, but they also make a lot of noise sometimes. Kiko doesn't know. She's really trying to see who these new niggas is over there. Big shout out to our producer, Anatomy, Michael, Mr. DeLeon, who produces all of our content, films everything. So if you need anybody to help out with your podcast and you have currency to pay him, then, make sure you give him some. Also, shout out to the homies Hayden and Double A and Low. I saw Amanda dip in here for a second. I saw the homie Chuck Creekmer jump in here. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Who gave me my name?
Yeah, I did.
Oh. Okay, sorry about that, guys. My bad. Shouts to the vegan foodie. My shirt says my ancestors versus my enemies. And I love being able to buy shit from my friends. Like Super Nev got a Chilio hoodie for his birthday. And my niece got a new book that was written by some of my friends. But anyway, okay, back to Drake. Now that my dog is in timeout.
Yeah, we were talking about Drake songs and how they're
amazing and forgettable. So right. I have this playlist called Morning Awesomeness where I just dump like any feel-good song, any song that I love, that I feel like I would want to listen to in the morning that gives me energy goes in there. So that playlist is like 300 songs long. I never get to hear all the songs, right? So I pull it up the other day and hit it on shuffle, and I see Drake in My Feelings. I'm like, the fuck is a Drake in My Feelings? Like, what song is this? And then it comes on, and I'm like, oh,
Right, all
it's the
bops.
Kiki Do You Love Me song.
Listen, I've seen the DJ do a 3-hour Drake set, and
Yeah.
everything was a hit. Nothing but bops.
Yes.
But it's just like, are you thinking about Drake all the time? Like, is he like, at the front of your brain? Like when you're talking about stuff. So we did 2 rooms this week on Clubhouse. We did Best Rapper Alive, we did Best Producer Alive, and of course, there was Drake slander. But a lot of us chose violence and said that Drake was definitely in the conversation. So but that
I
was
mean,
interesting. That's
if the
definitely something
criteria
to change.
if the criteria is sales, hits, lyricism, ability to songwriting ability to pick beats, yeah, ability to take somebody else's style and make it the dopest shit ever and act like it was always yours, JC. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't break out of
absolutely.
that conversation.
No, not at all.
It's just like Kanye. Like, so somebody posted on, who was it? Somebody posted on, oh, it was Joe Scudder actually. Said, who's in your top 5 if you can't say Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, or Three Stacks?
Why was
Drake and Kanye gotta go on mine.
Nah, I'm good. I'll take Drake.
Why would you not take Kanye? Shenanigans aside.
Kanye's an artist. He's not a rapper.
Okay, I'll take that. I was listening to Feedback the other day and felt like Feedback was like one of the most creative. And I know that, like, I know I'm old and, maybe I don't listen to as much new shit and groundbreaking shit as I could. There's not enough Lil Uzi Vert in my life, possibly. But
Not enough NBA young boy.
there's definitely 0 NBA young boy in my life. None whatsoever. I just got to the point where I could figure out Lil Baby's voice, as distinct as it is. But yeah, I was listening to Feedback and I was like, this is a very creative song. And Kanye's kind of good for that. Anyway, if I just go through like my playlist, like if I put any random playlist on shuffle, Drake or Kanye are on almost all of them. Kanye is not on my global bops playlist, but I feel like there's probably a Kanye song that could end up there.
So once again, yes, there's Kanye has some great songs, but I'm not gonna credit a person who's who has that much help with his music. It's like me putting Dr. Dre on the list. There's really no difference between Dr.
on the list.
So what?
Like you putting Quincy Jones on the list?
No, I'm talking about rappers.
Okay. Okay. I see.
It's like I said. It's like me putting Dr. Dre on the list.
I see what you're saying.
With
his lyrics.
But I mean, Kanye's more of an artist than Dre is. Overall, emotion, just his attention to detail in the performance aspect. But Kanye's delivery is still iffy for me. I think we just got used to it. And
Kanye will give you some absolute trash bars too.
And that what was it Bound? Like, yo. Yes. We listening to Bound, like, what did he say?
Or when he said a Mercedes in one of the songs.
Yeah. So I mean, he's as good as the homie who helped him write the song. Or the guy that made him write the beat, and there's so much value in that. So it's not shade.
Yeah.
But it's being honest. Because once again, I love Dre, and I love when Dre raps the shit that Jay-Z wrote for him. I love when Puff, finally learned how to rap the shit that Twista wrote for him. On his album that nobody ever talks about, which is one of my favorite albums of all time, No Way Out.
No Way Out.
No Way Out. Yeah.
Yo, I was just about to mention Senorita.
No Way Out's amazing, you know.
Gotta go back
on every joint, he sounds like the person who's on the joint with him.
Yes.
Because they wrote it, and that's cool. I'm good with that. I'm here for the
performance. What was Twista on? Is this the end?
Yes. I can never let a man cry. Like, yeah.
About to go listen to that. I'm
listening. Yo, that album is so underrated. It's definitely, man. That joint got me through college. My freshman year, I was playing that shit on the jukebox. Been Around the World. Man. Senorita, you know, Mommy,
yo. So we had the official like membership drive event for the Uptown Car Club, which is a social club for people, you know, of a certain age who are and of a certain age, like I don't mean old, like I mean like, you know, 35 and up. But everybody's welcome, who are fans of, you know, cars that kind of give you that paid in full aesthetic, you know, like classic luxury cars from like the 80s and 90s. So when y'all see me pull up in this 96 Range or this 96 G-Wagon, I want to hear shit. But so we did the event or whatever, DJ SNS was there, and SNS literally played like every Jay-Z song ever released. Well, not every, well, no, he played pretty much the whole entire Reasonable Doubt album. And I had to go and thank him because like it's a bunch of Jay-Z album cuts that I obviously don't ever hear in the club because they're album cuts, but that I love and I definitely have a club feel, or day party feel, whatever that he played. But then when he played that Been Around the World remix,
oh man, so we've been playing.
Like, okay, anyway, guys. We're doing another edition of This Week on Scammers on Clubhouse before we get to the new music.
Yes, we are. So apparently, because these names are too funny to make up, YBN Drippy and Growth God are charging people to listen to their music. They are also posing as A&Rs from Atlantic Records. We've been making fun of new people on Clubhouse and what they bring versus, you know, what it was, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm one of the good ones. I bring things.
Right, but you know, it was kind of a joke. But it's a lot of really whack scammers on there.
Yeah.
So, you know, these cats posing like the A&Rs from Atlantic Records, when nobody knows them, you know, and it's like y'all really got on an app with real A&Rs to pretend to be A&Rs. How dumb are you? Like, we wasn't gonna spot you, you know, immediately, you know, and then like I'm looking funny at the people who want you on the app too. So, you know, it's just out of pocket.
But okay, but it is out of pocket, but I want to say this real quick. Y'all, it's fucking 2021, bro. I understand being hungry. I understand having a dream. And I understand my point of privilege, right? Like I understand I got lucky as fuck. When I decided I wanted to get into this business, I got super lucky, right? And I got plugged in with the right people from jump. Like I had one internship with somebody that was not even a scammer. Like he was a promoter who, you know, played himself up to be bigger than what he actually was. But like he was legit a promoter. He did events. But I was in Miami, and so I was able to connect with, you know, like Khaled when he was first starting out, or DJ Irie, or, you know, like whatever. Like, but y'all gotta be smarter about the shit at this point, man. Like it cannot be like DJ Z works too hard on Twitter for y'all to still be getting scammed by people just because y'all are not vetting them. Like Z spent all of 2019 and 2020, huh?
But the problem is it can't just be him.
No, it can't just be him. But it's also not just him. Like I called him out to be funny, but it's not just him.
Yeah, but what I'll say is there are a lot of niggas who don't call it out because there are industry niggas that are scammers too. And they don't want to blow the whistle because people start looking at them funny. So that's the real problem. The real problem is that there are a lot of scammers who niggas look up to. So it ain't just Drippy and Growth God. There are people right now who have plaques, who have success, and they're whole scammers. And they are the most trash people on planet Earth.
Oh, I just thought.
But because they have perceived success, we let them live. And it's like apathetic industry niggas who sit by and let them do it. So that's why people like this get to live. But once again, we need, as people who've been in the music business and who know who's on what's what, these young kids don't have the opportunities to know what we do, right? They just know you get on the internet, you hope you find an A&R, you hope they like your stuff, and then you blow up. That's what they know. There's no music education. They don't have no OGs. Nobody in the hood is telling the kid in North Philly or in Overtown or any of these places how this shit really works. Yeah. All the scammers is getting to them. They doing all the scammer shit. So we gotta call this out. But no, I completely feel you, because also niggas need to educate themselves. And
yes,
but I mean,
how long were you in the music business before you went and bought This Business of book, whichever one it was that you got?
I ain't never bought no book.
Really?
No.
Hold on.
You know why?
Why?
So, because I was learning the business from people in real time.
Okay.
And then, my friends were attorneys. Some of my first events I went to were conference. I used to go to conferences and sit there. I met Wendy Day and got to listen to her and listen to people from, Cherry Media Group and all these big publishers and all this stuff talk about the business. And then, I got to go hang out and listen to Rockwilder and Buck Wild and, really talk about the industry and how it works.
So we need to bring back like actual music education in that format. Because
absolutely.
Because I definitely learned from those people as well. But like, you see this book right here?
Yeah.
This is of Artist Management. I bought this in 1998. This actual copy. And it's so crazy because I have a bunch of books that like got wet. Like I lived in a basement apartment one time that got flooded, and I had a whole box of books that got wet, and like I still have these water damaged books for whatever reason. All my music business books, I have this one. I have the original This Business of Music book by Donald Passman. I have books
like my homegirl
before free shit on YouTube. So
books can't stop you from they're not gonna protect you from scammers.
No, they're not.
They're not gonna protect you from somebody pretending.
I do agree that like there's a certain level of privilege to which you don't realize you have sometimes until you come across people who don't have it. Access is a level of privilege. Like I remember, moderating a panel at A3C, and our two panelists were actually A&Rs, and people were asking questions like, how do I connect with you, and they were giving them answers like, well, the standard industry shit, like don't find us, we'll find you. You got to network laterally, Okay, but I live in fucking Walla Walla, wherever Walla Walla is, Michigan.
Washington.
Which one is it? Michigan, Kalamazoo. I live in a small town where we don't even have an urban radio station, and we might get one rap show every 3-4 months. Plus now it's COVID, so ain't no rap shows. Who am I networking with? So I get that everybody doesn't have access or did not have access starting out like I did, right? But like, come on, man. Like we can't and again, I put it on the scammers. The scammers are wrong as fuck for doing it, but it can't just all be on the scammers. Like at some point,
well, it's on everybody. it's on both, because the same thing with these executives, especially these black executives that know that they're leading these kids into these predatory situations. It's on all of them. You know, one of my homies, man, he got in some pretty bad situations that he didn't know he signed some bad contracts. And I didn't know that the lawyer that they gave him was an attorney that I know, who's been around us, but he's also key with the fucking labels and shit and with the publishers.
Right.
So, you know, they got their ways to get you. They make it look good. That's what the scam is. The scam is not always a lack of information. The scam is it's a lack of experience. You know, somebody, like, because you know what you need, or you think you know, right? And then somebody comes along and pretends to be that. It's not new though, because I remember they used to hire a random middle-aged white dude, bring him to events, put him, in the VIP and say he's an A&R at some record label, and guarantee you a record deal at the end of the night if you was the best act. You know what I'm saying? So scams have been around. It's just,
for sure,
when we see something, we got to say something.
All right. Well, my goal, my dream for 2021, now that we're past the bullshit, I really be feeling like the new year doesn't start till my birthday anyway. I'm shallow. Y'all know this. But I really hope that, I think like when the lockdown happened, everybody got, super excited about doing all these webinars or whatever. And then everybody got burnt out and everybody stopped doing them. And then of course most people didn't document the wealth of information that was being distributed properly. And then also, a lot of y'all were in these chat rooms, in these Zooms, sharing, trying to get likes and follows on Instagram instead of actually listening to the information that was being given to you and asking the questions that you need to be asking. So cheers to 2021, continuing to capitalize on the fact that a lot of people are at home, and therefore we have to decimate this information that we would have normally saved for a South by Southwest or an A3C. And now we're able to do it online and more people have access to it. And by the way, South by Southwest is happening virtually. And if South by is happening virtually, that means that the majority content is going to be the panels. So y'all might want to look into that. It's got to be cheaper than actually going to Austin. Even if the ticket prices were the same price, like you're obviously not traveling to Austin or getting a hotel or having to eat for 3 days. So it's cheaper. So get into that. All right. I wanted to talk about Cardi B's movie debut, and Pop Smoke's acting debut. So we're gonna do that really, really quick. There's a trailer out for a movie called Boogie by Eddie Huang. I hope I'm not pronouncing his name wrong. But the trailer was released on Tuesday. It is the coming of age story of a Chinese high school basketball star named Alfred Boogie Chin, being played by Taylor Takahashi. And this basketball player lives in Queens, faces off-court challenges such as an Asian cultural stereotypes and on-court rivals like Monk, who is played by Pop Smoke. So Pop Smoke has a significant, supporting role in this movie. And just every time I see like this, Mac Miller being on the presidential inaugural playlist, or, I saw another clip about, I think Juice WRLD's final video that he recorded before he passed. Like, it just makes me so sad, man.
Life is precious.
Yeah. Funk Flex dropped the first single from his next album last month, and it was a single featuring King Von. It's just
life is precious.
Crazy shit. And then Cardi B has her first leading role in a film. It's a movie called Assisted Living. And it is the story of Cardi's character as a small-time crook who finds herself in over her head when a heist goes wrong. Here is my only apprehension about that. I don't want to see Cardi as Cardi for a whole 2 hours. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see performance Cardi. I don't want to see. Like I want Cardi to not be playing herself, but I know that that's.
I feel like a lot of people have gotten away with doing that. I don't think she could do it forever, but I think in the beginning of your career, you can absolutely get away with playing yourself,
Oh yeah,
especially if you're funny. If you're funny, like if you're entertaining naturally, then you can do it. I mean, Rich Pryor, right? He's playing himself no matter what you put him in. This nigga was Rich Pryor. It works for certain people, so I'm here for it just to see, her progression,
That role definitely was meant for Tiffany Haddish. Okay, I'm chilling. Let's talk about music. Our playlist.
I definitely want to talk about Tiffany Haddish.
Huh?
She needs to stay off of damn social media.
No, we talked about it last week. We gave her plenty burn last week. Did she do more shit this week?
I don't even remember.
Have I been on Clubhouse this week?
No, I ain't see her on it this week. Huh. Since you brought her up. Anyway, what we talking about?
We're going to music. We're going to music. Last week was light on albums again, but we found some dope singles that are worth y'all checking out. Namely, your girl Ariana Grande came through with the 3435 remix featuring Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Meg.
Nah, Doja and Meg killed it. I love seeing them get together and make music because I think they're both super, super talented. Women have been running the music industry for the last couple of years, like seriously. So let the dominance continue. I'm here for it.
I like that she went and got two girls because it's definitely the kind of record where somebody at some point would have suggested there be a man responding to the song on the remix.
Okay.
And I'm glad that we got, more girl power talking raunchy shit, but politely. Like I told y'all, Ariana Grande gives me, mall assistant manager, lightweight kinky with her boyfriend, the mall manager.
Well, yeah, even when she said, even she talking
until the daylight, and you're like, no, Ariana.
Well, she talking nasty, and it just still don't come off. It looks better when you read it. Give me them babies. It's like I don't really see you as that. Nah.
Like, oh, girl, come on, that's so cute.
You're capping.
So cute. Bless your heart.
You don't swallow.
Bless your heart. But by all means, that doesn't mean that we need you to like jump all the way the fuck out a window and pull a Miley Cyrus. Like you can stay right where you're at and give us these, wholesome, dirty girl.
It's a good song. It's a good song that's made better by two solid performances by some rapping ass women.
Give us these my nudes are never really actually nude vibes.
Right. It's just me in a nude outfit.
Me in some cute lingerie.
It's not really nude. It's just the color nude.
It's really a bathing suit. Okay. Macklemore dropped a freestyle called Trump's Over.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered this evening, I came to grips with the fact that I'm just genetically predisposed to maybe not genetically, but I'm predisposed to just not fuck with Macklemore at this point.
And that makes sense. But I think overall it was a good effort.
What bothered me was there's a line on there about liberal white people not saying nothing while black people are dying. And I'm like, but where were you last year, Macklemore?
Apparently he was somewhere saying something.
Oh, true.
I mean, I don't know. But I mean, maybe he was out there in Occupy Seattle or, I'm going to tell you what. Them Northwest boys this year, they've been getting it in. Okay. Portland, Seattle, they've been fucking people up. Okay. They've been going to war. So, Macklemore, if you was out there.
Here's what, though. When you're a celebrity and you're out there, like the expectation is that your presence is to amplify whatever's happening, right? It's like that's how we know that old boy from Insecure. I don't know his name, but I know he was at Mad Parades last year. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Nathan from Insecure. I don't know his real name. But I ain't heard Macklemore name all of 2021 and all the shit that was happening and all the Paris was burning. And you could have came out with your Trumps over freestyle, and I would have probably I wouldn't have felt okay about it. Macklemore, let's just keep it a buck. I'm not for you. You are not for me. However, like, that line didn't sit with me. Like, that whole, liberal white people not saying nothing. I'm like, it's literally you and your mama.
But but I know who he's talking about. He's not even just talking about people that are outwardly, outspoken about the cause. He's talking about apathetic motherfuckers, people who play this liberal role, and they're still racist.
There's okay, you say the people that are still racist.
Yeah, because being liberal being a progressive doesn't mean you're progressive for Black people. It doesn't mean you're progressive for minorities. It means he named particular instances, like people who care more about the environment or dogs and shit than they do about people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a very progressive liberal stance to take, but you don't really care about
actual
people. Nah, not at all. So,
there's a Martin Luther King, I think it's Martin Luther King quote that I see circulating every so often, where it talks about how the moderate white is more dangerous than the radical racist.
That's a fact.
Because in your moderation, in order for you to be a moderate, you have to close your eyes and turn a blind eye to so much shit.
Yes, you do. They're the ones who've been woken up in all this. Like, oh my God. This is what's been going on.
Why wasn't the Capitol as heavily guarded? Really?
Hey, Black people, why didn't you tell us about this?
Why
we did, my nigga.
Do this to y'all? What do you mean,
bro? My whole Facebook page has been "I told you so," because I told you so. Literally every year, I'll get the memory of the year before. So I'm getting all the smoke of what I said 4 years ago when Trump got elected. I'm getting all the stuff I said in between the campaign. I'm getting the things that I've said about everything that he's done, and all I'm doing is reposting them with the "I told you so,"
with the Oprah shrug,
right? With the "We told you so."
All right, so in this music, let's see who else. The Baby dropped a joint called Masterpiece.
I like it.
Listening to it, it sounded to me like Baby heard all the feedback that we gave him off of that last album that was undercooked.
Mm-hmm.
And he went back into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think that a lot of people miss that opportunity when you blow up and then you think you're too good to listen, or you think you're set and you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's good to kind of be reminded that no, you still got to put in effort. The joint's called Masterpiece. The video's out. It's pretty dope. Smino dropped a little short joint called MLK Drive
with a very dope visual that I would suggest that everyone go see.
I think I'm gonna go find a This Is Smino playlist and listen to that tomorrow, because Smino is one of those people that I keep forgetting I fuck with. You know what I mean? Like, he'll drop something, I'll be like, oh yeah, I like this guy, but then I'm not necessarily thinking about it. All right, who should we do first? Robin Thicke or Zayn? Pause.
Let's go with Robin Thicke.
So it's really funny that Lost Without You came on somewhere the other day. Like, I was outside the house. I was at a store, and me, my homegirl, and the girl who was shooting her content, and the girl who was in the store were all singing the song. And we were like, damn, man, like, that man really threw his whole career away. Well, Robin is hoping that y'all have forgotten. I've forgotten. I don't remember why we were mad at Robin Thicke.
What was happening?
He killed his wife and made a whole trash ass album trying to make up to her. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
It was like a whole trash ass album where we were just like, ooh.
That ain't none of my business.
That the album was trash? Or that he cheated on his wife?
That he cheated on his wife.
Oh yeah, no, we don't care about the cheating on your wife. It's the let me make 12 song apology and it's all trash. That was like, had you come back and made 444, had you ignored it altogether, had you one song on there that was an apology to your wife, and then the rest that was just fire ass, R&B bops as you're known to do. We'd have took it, but he blew it all up. The interesting thing is that like neither of it's like the first time that you see a celebrity couple break up and nobody flourished, benefited. Nobody talked about either of them afterwards. Like I don't know what the last thing Paula Patton was in.
I saw a movie. It was her and the dude from Antoine Fisher.
Yes, the one where she was like being trafficked.
She's a flight. No, she was a flight attendant.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually
that was direct.
I mean, it was campy and cheesy, but it was kind of cute.
Wasn't who was in that? Not Megan Good. It was somebody else that was in that movie.
I got it.
She was in this other movie where she's being trafficked. And it was like the wildest shit. It's like her and her boyfriend rent a house in the mountains somewhere. And like there's some bicycle gang in that town that's actually trafficking women. And it was just like kind of to show you like just how easily a woman can get abducted and trafficked. So I did see her in something. But anyway, Robin Thicke's new joint is called Beautiful. It's record.
It's a very good R&B record.
I'm excited about good R&B records.
I'm gonna go dig in the credits because I mean the arrangement, that's some nice little pre-choruses and vibes on there.
You didn't pull that up already? I'm surprised.
I'm definitely going to. He's got a whole album coming out, so he's got a whole album coming out.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
Well, we should appeal to whoever it is that makes these decisions and see if we can let Robin Thicke back to the cookout, or whatever the fuck y'all be saying. I never stopped listening to that second album, by the way. Oh God, the album was even called Paula. Oh, I'm sorry. Woo. Sorry, 2014. Hey guys, 1D fans, and pop music promoters. Zayn Malik wants to make R&B records, and he's really good at it, and y'all should just let him be an R&B.
I mean, let that man do his R&B numbers. Don't treat him like y'all try to treat Justin Bieber.
What was the remix that he was on where it was like, it was him, Trey Songz, and somebody else. You remember what I'm talking about? I think it was a Trey Songz song. It's Chris Brown Back to Sleep Mega Mix, which, oh my God, I'm sorry. I just pulled up a version that says R. Kelly on there. Whoa, hey, R. Kelly, August Alsina, Zayn Malik, Anthony Hamilton, Usher, and Tank?
Yes, somebody made that shit up.
Okay. The real remix was Zayn and Usher and Trey Songz in August. No, that was really a thing. I'm sorry, I'm in shock.
So Zayn just dropped his third solo studio album. It's called Nobody's Listening. I want to definitely shout out my guy Symphony, who is a producer that I know pretty well from Philly. Got a nice little placement on there. Pop placements are always good.
And that dropped last Friday, by the way.
Yes, it dropped this last Friday. But people are listening. And the lead song was Vibes. And we took a listen. So how do you feel about Vibes?
I literally said what I just said to you, which is that like I really want them to just go ahead. I feel like nobody has serviced Zayn records to R&B stations. And that's where he needs to be. That was an R&B record, and it's really good.
A lot of the records on here are really good.
He has a song on there with Sid.
Yes,
and I
really
fucking
good.
love Sid's voice.
Connection is my favorite. The vocal performance on that one is top notch. It's a good It's a good joint. Vibes is a good song, first of all. Vibes is a perfect bop. I mean, even using the popular words and phrasing, everything is vibes these days. You know what I'm saying? So it works. It works in the club. It works in the R&B stations. We need to start getting that out there. But no, I mean, he put together a good album, a really good album. So yeah, nobody's listening. You should go listen to it.
So let's make an executive decision together here. Sis and I have been toying with the idea of a playlist, a weekly playlist. And I feel like that playlist will be singles that drop, but then also maybe songs from albums that drop during the week that we really fuck with. What you think?
Okay. Why not?
10 songs?
That sounds about right.
We'll have it figured out by Monday. We'll drop a link for y'all on Monday. Does that sound like enough time?
Absolutely. So yeah. I think we.
You're yawning. Okay, look, guys. To recap today's show: Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch oh witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. I'm sorry, y'all. I learned English watching The Wizard of Oz and Coming to America. Both of those together. Weird combination. Anyway, yeah, we talked about the inauguration today. What else are we on today? The Super Bowl, and we don't understand why people are mad at Versus. And
talked about Clubhouse scammers.
Stop scamming people, because scamming people is whack.
We talked about WandaVision and really dope French TV shows.
Can we have a WandaVision watch after party on Clubhouse?
Right. So just to let you know, I mean, I'll watch it again, but I do watch it every Thursday night going into Friday with Dallas Penn and a bunch of other nerds.
Oh, okay. Well, then just say yes. Hi, we do this every night. Just jump in the room. That's all you have to say.
It's like 3 a.m.
Okay, maybe not.
Because that's when it comes out. But we could definitely do it. But yeah, I think Mikey's about to
stop dropping shit at midnight California time. That's very rude.
They don't care about us East Coasters.
They don't care about us East Coasters. They also don't care about Hawaii. I mean, I guess they get to Hawaii early. I don't know.
Yeah, so, man, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
Season 2, episode 3. Hot damn, it's a new day. The show is, he is still at Scissor215 on all social media platforms.
I am, and she's at Saint Boogie on everything. So.
I am indeed. The show is at
the and the Cash App. Hold on, we got to give him Cash App. Cash App is Boogie Likes Cash.
Boogie Likes Cash. My birthday's on the 27th. I'm an Aquarius. And I'm not going anywhere this year unless y'all send me on a trip.
No long walks on the beach, but
But as soon as I can get to a beach, baby, I have been stalking Vrbo. I don't know if it's gonna be Vrbo. I don't know if it's gonna be Airbnb. I don't know if it's gonna be a carefully vetted hotel. I feel like hotels have been super duper careful in this Panasonic, because their business has been impacted the most by this Ponderosa. Mm-hmm. And so, at some point in this Panda Express drive-through, I will go and find me somewhere by a beach to stay. And we can start putting towards that now. But yeah, the show is at the Chop Block Pod on Twitter, at Chop Block Pod on Instagram. We are also on Twitch if you want to watch us versus listening to us. And if you want to listen to us instead of watching us, we are on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. You can even ask Alexa or Google to play us. And yeah, that's it for this week. Episode 3, we out.
Be careful out here in this parallelogram, y'all. Y'all stay safe.
Wash your hands and cover your mouths.
Deuces.
Thank you, IG Live, for rocking with us and coming back for part 2.
Appreciate you.
We really, really do, more than you know.